Well, a colorful and intriguing display of art inspired by Mary Poppins made its mark in many parts of the world, and now locals will get to soak it up right here in Bangor. The Umbrella Sky project was launched by Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center and the Downtown Bangor Partnership. They're bringing the project to Cross Street in downtown Bangor for locals and visitors to embrace. There's 170 installations of the project worldwide. Those involved say in order for this to feel authentic to the city, they had to go back to where the project originally started.
We actually partnered with the group in Portugal where this originated in order to put this all together and get the umbrellas here. Because we have snow, it will be May to October, but we're excited to have it up.
So I love the fact that this is an international project. I think sometimes it can feel like Bangor is really far away from everything else, and it's just this little strand of connectivity with the rest of the world. We're like part of something bigger. We share a commonality, but at the same time, each of these projects is different in each place, and it's brought in and means something different for each of the groups that bring them in.
On July 31st, they're offering the community a free launch party for visitors to enjoy the scenery and ask themselves, how are you, Bangor? The hope is the Umbrella Sky can bring a refreshing reminder of positivity. To keep up with the launch, you can go to downtownbangor.com.